The supreme profound and sublime Dharma is difficult to encounter in a billion eons. Now I see it, hear it, receive it, and kept it. I vow to attain the true meaning of the Tathagata. In order to liberate all sentient beings, let us generate supreme bodhicitta.
In our previous class, we had covered the part on where I shared my experience of getting used to drinking coffee. And today, we will cover the part where Phuntsog Rinpoche gave a talk on the stage-by-stage practice of Milarepa. I'll give you the reading transmission. On the second stop of Phuntsog Rinpoche, since the center invited Phuntsog Rinpoche was affiliated with the Kagyu lineage and Kagyu tradition, but it is not just the Kagyu center, it is rather both Ati and both Nyingma and Kagyu center. And later, when Phuntsog Rinpoche went to Trungpa Rinpoche's center, he also gave teachings on both of the Kagyu teachings as well as the Nyingma teachings. Whenever Phuntsog Rinpoche gave teachings to the Kagyu centers, he teaches as if he had studied Kagyu for his whole life, and that applies to Sakyapas and the other schools as well. On the 27th of June, Yijin Rinpo Phuntsog Rinpoche gave a teaching revolving around the Kagyu lineage at the very well-known Mill High Church in Lakewood, Colorado, for the Vajradhara community as well as many non-Buddhists. And he said that the Tathagata Arhat omniscient one, perfect in illumination and conduct, knower of the world, the supreme tamer of men, teacher of the devas, the humans, Bhagavat, Buddha, Dharmakirti Agara, to you I pay homage, to you I make offerings, in you I take refuge. Relying on the four great aspirations made by Buddha Dharmakirti Agara in the past, may his boundless wisdom, compassion, and power grant blessings, so I and all sentient beings may enjoy his fruition. Why did Phuntsog Rinpoche supplicate to Buddha Dharmakirti Agara during my class on the seven Tathagatas? I also gave teachings on that. In fact, Phuntsog Rinpoche would give the teaching on, or would recite the name of Dharmakirti Agara because this Buddha is extremely powerful, especially at places where the Dharma is not prosperous. So, since the great number of the audience back then were not Buddhists, so that is why Phuntsog Rinpoche would supplicate to Buddha Dharmakirti Agara. Whenever Phuntsog Rinpoche gave teachings to the places or to the people where they do not believe in Buddha Dharma or the Buddha Dharma is not flourishing, he would chant the name of Buddha Dharmakirti Agara. He then said that now having supplicated and praised my deity to whom I have strong devotion in order to noble Dharma to enter into my mind streams, I have chanted the full name of Buddha Dharmakirti Agara 7 times. Today my teaching is about the essential point of Dharma teaching. The reason for sharing this topic is that I'm hoping to help the novice Buddhists to know more about Buddhism and how it developed, and also to remind the senior Buddhists how to enhance and improve their actual practice. Also, for those following other religious tradition or have no religion belief whatsoever, I am hoping through my teaching today that they can gain a clear idea of what Buddhism is essentially about, and then give careful consideration on whether it is worthwhile for them to enter Buddhism. Well, it is for those of you who had given teachings before, you would know and understand that it is easy to give teachings to one group of people, but over here there are different groups of people all gathered together. There are people who are believers, there are people who are novice Buddhists, and there are people who have already practiced for a long time, and there are people who have no religious belief whatsoever. If an individual deliberately decides to follow Buddhism, then this person will be able to advance along the Dharma path gradually and stably. It is in fact very difficult to give teachings to two different groups of people. And let's look at how Pongsu Rinpoche then elaborated and gave teachings to such a diverse group. He said that I will first talk about transmission of Buddha Dharma. Our root teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, the possessor of all omniscient skillful means, caring for us with great compassion and loving kindness, aroused the supreme bodhicitta long ago. He accumulated an immense amount of merit for 3 countless aeons and finally demonstrated the realization of full enlightenment, that is Buddhahood, in Bodh Gaya, India. Then, before the supreme sentient being endowed with uncommon power, the Buddha appeared as Vajradhara and preached the extensive doctrine of sacred mantra in many places, such as the highest pure realm of Aknishta. Where are these teachings flourishing today? In our human world, the Buddha Dharma originated from Bodh Gaya like a rising sun, and then gradually illuminated the entire land of India. Later, as prophesied by Buddha himself, the Buddha Dharma was propagated in the snowy land of Tibet and has been thriving up there to the present time. In Tibet, there are 8 great lineages of attainment and 10 great lineages of study, and many of these Dharma transmissions are still remaining active in today's world. There are different kinds of lineages of attainment. The first one that thrived in Tibet is the earlier translation school of Nagyur, the early translation school that is called Nyingma, Nagyur Nyingma, and represented by Origin Dorje Chan or Pamasambhava, Vimalamitra, and other great masters. A few centuries later, an extraordinary person in the place called Lodrak generated a firm thought that a more complete system of Dharma teaching would be necessary in order to greatly benefit the follower of the new school. And this man is Marpa Lotsawa. He is the great well-known translator. In order to seek Dharma, he journeyed to India 3 times, experiencing all kinds of hardship. On his 3rd journey, he encountered Peerless and the most venerable Atisha, who was on his way to Tibet. There are different historical records where it says that Marpa in fact traveled to India for 20 times, over 20 times. Anyhow, on his last journey, he encountered the Peerless, most venerable Atisha. And while in India, Marpa Lotsawa undertook an exhaustive search for his guru and finally succeeded in finding Naropa, the well-known pandita guarding the north gate of Nalanda University. Naropa was the chief disciple of mahasiddha Tilopa, who was directly guided by Vajradhara in person. Marpa visited Naropa many times and received a series of instructions from his guru. He also relied on many other great accomplished teachers, including Maitripa. He brought all these teachings back to Tibet, and as a result of the doctrine of the sacred mantra in the new school, began to thrive in the land of Tibet. Before Marpa was about to leave his guru Naropa, the guru gave him the empowerment of Hevajra. At that time, Naropa manifested the mandala of Hevajra with all the deities bright and vivid in the sky, while he was just remained seated and asked Marpa, will you prostrate to me first or to the yidams first? There are different teachings and there are different records. Pongsu Rinpoche, the way he expounded earlier, and this part is a little bit different, but we decided to keep this version. It says that Naropa thought to himself, I have received many teachings from the Lama, and today I want to receive the teachings directly from the yidam, so he told his teacher, I'd like to prostrate to the yidam. As soon as he finished these words, all the deities melted into light and dissolved into the Guru's heart center. Then Marpa reflected, it seems like I've made a great mistake. All deities are indeed the manifestation of the Guru, and other than the Guru, there are no other yidams to supplicate. Therefore, it is the Guru whom I should serve and respect. However, sadly, just now I've forgotten this, since I always consider the Guru greater than the yidam and keep visualizing Guru above my mind. Whenever meditating on the yidam, I probably did not destroy the auspicious interdependence too badly. I pray.
这个上面就是可能稍微就是我们这个法的这个前后的法本有一点点可能不同，
I believe that there are a little bit of different versions, in a little bit of a difference in the two versions. The later version should be the final version, rather. The way Pontsuk Rinpoche expounded probably is a little bit different than the historical record, so there is a little bit of adjustment. And Naropa knew that Marpa was thinking. Naropa knew what Marpa was thinking, and through his miraculous power, he gave him a prophecy saying that since you chose the yidam instead of me, this damages the interdependent circumstances. Yet, given that you see the Guru as the main deity in daily practice, this indicates that your Dharma lineage will spread far and wide like the rising sun shining across the whole world. While in the historical record, in fact, there is another sentence saying that the lineage, since you destroy the interdependent circumstances, your teaching will wither just like the flowers of the fall. However, your lineage, your Dharma lineage, will spread far and wide like the rising sun shining across the whole world. That sentence of withering like the fall, like the autumn flower, is omitted due to certain circumstances. And then Marpa asked this Guru solemnly, I have 7 sons of my own blood, headed by Tamadode. Tamadode first went to India, and then there is a story of how his consciousness, after the passing of Tamadode, and then his consciousness went into, or got into a just deceased child's body, and then became a great pandita. I have to look into that story again. Would you have any means by which my family lineage will never discontinue, so that my descendants would also be able to propagate the Dharma? Unfortunately, Naropa responded, the auspicious interdependence has already been destroyed, so I cannot restore it. If Marpa had created an auspicious interdependence, his family descendants would for sure have taken a more essential role than his lineage disciple in carrying through and propagating his teachings. And the Kakyu lineage would have prospered many hundreds and thousands of times more so than today's situation. Therefore, it is crucial to view the teacher as the principal source of siddhi, and that deity is inseparable with the Guru, to whom one always showed deep faith, devotion, respect, and joy. Maybe we should stop here today. We should just use this opportunity to present this class today as an auspicious coincidence. Today is already quite late, all the way from 8 to 7:30 p.m.
Sonam dai tamche zogba nya tomna ni be jana panshi jirga nanji ralong chuba yi chibum sole njuwa jurvara sho